for. I would guess that would be my sort of anticipation right now. When we first hop onto the rift here, we're actually going to spam our Q as a way to level it up, so that we get our little pal for when we're clearing jungle, so that we can get through the jungle a little bit faster. It might be smart to start topside and get help from Graves, so that we can get blue buff, and then loop over to red, because the red doesn't give us much. But if we think about the minions overall, the Raptor camp versus the Wolves, the Raptor camp will be able to let our E bounce over a little bit. So I could see an argument sort of across the board for all of these things. We're going to start with a pretty standard AP Hunter Talisman plus refillable potion. We'll probably upgrade it to a Hunter's Potion as well. Make sure that everyone is in their rightful places. And that is third stack right there. And we're about to get going. We're actually going to start blue side. Just starting on red side is good because we get extra help from the Ezreal and Leona. So we have a bunch of people. Even though the Leona doesn't have a lot of damage with her auto attacks, it actually does add up pretty well when you're trying to clear the camps. And actually, you get a stun. So maybe it is better to start down here. Is the stun better? Is not getting the stun better than getting a blue for the first couple of clears? I guess it's a question of the day. And thankfully we have our Voidling ready for us to go ahead and bust him out with a Call of the Void. I've seen this once before. Oh gosh. And we're actually going to tank here because our Voidling is very important to us. And there we go. Come over this way. Pop our potion here. Again, we're going to tank as much as we possibly can from our Voidling. We'll get another Voidling up here right when our ability spawns. Again, need to take this one up as well. Here we go. So, a little bit slow at the beginning here, just because we do have to tank up all of this. And make sure that our Voidling is hanging out with us. We should be able to clear this final camp. We have all three abilities, which makes it easier for us to get our Voidlings. And thus far, we haven't seen a Kha'Zix trying to counter jungle. So here we have it thus far. Again, wanting to sort of stay up front here. Gonna work here just to be safe. We have two Voidlings in action. One Voidling now. We should be able to get Dragon pretty early here. Our Voidling tank this one until our smite comes up. Actually, kind of take this next hit. Here we go, all the way back. Black Felt asked, so is the idea with Malzahar just to build as much theater as possible and spam Voidlings? Yes! Yes, 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 yes. And we're actually going to go with a Stalker's Blade, just because we really don't have a way to stop them if they start to run away from us. So we're going to head over, we have red buff here, we're going to head over to bottom side of the map near them. We're going to place a pink ward down probably in this general area. It looks as though Varus is backing, although he has full stacks of his corrupting, or maybe he's just joking around. He might have enough for tier. I don't think so at this point. Oh, there we go. He does have it. We see that Kha'Zix is top. Go ahead. Auto attack here. We have Voidlings incoming. I don't know if we can actually do anything with those. We see that we are being pinged over here. So we have a Voidling, we have red buff. We have a lot of things going in our favor. And we're going to auto attack. Put this down. Hit blue smite. Oh, and I missed the auto attack on the Jhin. So, pretty easy kill that we botched in that particular example. I clipped my own auto attack, which absolutely sucks for us. There's even an argument to be made as to great gank, great initiation by Leona. We're the ones who screwed it up, unfortunately. And I think there's an argument to be made as to perhaps going for a tier or something to begin with. Get an auto attack here, get our Voidling, and sort of tank it up. Have our E bounce a little bit so that we can get mana back. It's one of those things that you just sort of live with the outcome, even though it's not the best outcome. We're stacking up HP right now, and I think there will probably be a gank from Kha'Zix up top. Thresh seems to have located our pink ward, replacing it with his own. And we're just gonna be honest with our friends. We screwed up. I don't know what is being pinged. We're gonna ward just in case. Okay, so the Kha'Zix is right over here. We're gonna come through lane here, just to be safe. Okay. Kha'Zix gets first blood. Lots of pings. We actually don't get an assist there, which seems odd to me, because it looked as though we did something. So actually we didn't do anything. They're able to get dragon. We're gonna go ahead and back here. And then pick up the blue buff right after. And Leona being there is very silly, doesn't make much sense. They already got the dragon, and now we're actually going to go ahead and pick up Runic Echo. Or build pieces toward the Runic Echo, just because we don't have any AP. It's not ideal for us, we wanted to go for Warrior Chat. But given the current situation, it's what we're gonna do. We're gonna say coming top after blue. It looks as though Graves is putting him in the pizza up until this point. Hopefully Varus does not want this blue. We're gonna have to save our smite, unfortunately. I want to make sure that we are also getting our Voidlings ready. I'm paying top. I don't have flash, but I do have blue smite plus ultimate. So hopefully there's not a decoy that comes and distracts us. And it looks so Graves is doing plenty on his own. We sort of cut off the path to the tower. I think the next item after it's either we go for Runic Echo. We're just gonna clear out the scuttle just to sort of eliminate some sort of vision here. Just want to make sure that we get vision. Want to make sure that Annie does not stop us. Just gonna ask Varus if he saw us. It doesn't seem that he was reacting to it, so maybe he just didn't want to fight it, and maybe he was right in the decision to not fight it.
Enemy rampage.
Lena seems to be putting ourselves in the wrong place at the wrong time. I imagine that they're just counter jungling me right now and taking my red buff. Ezreal does not seem pleased. At this point, we're really a scaling composition, especially that we have Tear of the Goddess in both the mid laner and the bot lane. So our power spikes are going to come a little bit later. No words is words. Yeah, that brings up a good point. We're going to try to make a roam happen in the bot lane. I don't know that we can really do anything. We do have flash up, but right now we don't have much other than that. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Let me tank for you. There we go. Oh boy. That was a scary moment. I want to make sure that Kha'Zix doesn't just come and clean us up. We have... Okay, so flash for flash, might be able to actually stop anyone here. We're able to take the tower, it seems. Take the tower, it seems. Nope, we're actually just going to end up backing. Mid Varus dies again. One of the reasons I recommend not playing Varus. But we see this 6-0-0 Kha'Zix, who's absolutely dominating us. Kha'Zix is actually very much so falling back into favor in a lot of ways, which is especially weird given the tank meta. And we're just gonna hold it in place. Hoping that the Ezreal will just back. And Kha'Zix can kill us. So we're just going to ping back, hoping that Annie didn't roam down. Actually lost vision of her across the map. So we lose tower. That sucks. Our abilities sort of bounce through. So I think our contributions have been great. They obviously haven't been great. I'm just waiting for the blame game to sort of hop over to me as Malzahar, but I don't think it's warranted. A tier might be an interesting item right here. We're able to get top, so we're sort of late to the tier farming game. It'll help us throughout the jungle. Tier plus or Nageko might be overkill in terms of mana, but once we get CDR up, it'll allow us to spam our abilities. We'll probably go for Morello's too. So we should be able to, at 40% CDR, ability, right now, so it'll be probably Banner of Command plus. So again, we're just kind of spamming abilities, trying to get here. We're going to put a defensive pink ward. Again, still need to tank for our dudes. And unfortunately, Graves, I have to tank this. Had the second dragon going their way. We're just going to tell Leona to back the heck out because it hasn't seemed to be working. I don't think Wukong has been able to ward. I think he might have warded right there. Perhaps a pink ward. Yep, that's pink ward. You see that there's a ward here as well. So we're going to try to get Graves ahead if at all possible. We're going to head mid right now just to protect our Varus from the Annie. Bit of boiling going. We could of course sort of walk in as well. Using our abilities to push in a tower. Chasing under tower doesn't do much for us. Full tank Teemo. Yeah, we'll see. Ward over here, although we saw Kha'Zix bottom last. I think we should just be able to sort of push this in. Kha'Zix can't jump on us. Well, he could, but I think he'd die. I just don't think full tank Teemo makes a lot of sense. I guess you go kind of bruisery Teemo, but even then, I think it's questionable at best. The Roilings are not going to be as strong, but we're going to be able to spam abilities, which will be cool. We're going to try to hide this little cleft of shadow. Make sure that we're saving our ultimate for Kha'Zix if we can. We could have flashed into this, but we could also just get basically insta-killed by Kha'Zix. It seems as though Wukong and Kha'Zix were actually able to sort of finish the job over there. So we're just going to push in mid lane. See what we can do from there. If there's ever a time to engage, it would be now. And I think that's what we're going to end up doing. There we go. Okay, so we don't have our ultimate as a suppressor, but we have it as sort of a damage-oriented ability. What's going on, Penguin? Didn't even see you there. Seems base damages aren't good enough. Yeah, there are a lot of champions whose base damages are really, really good, which is why sort of the tank builds work for them. For our purposes, yeah, Teemo is not one of them. So a lot of mana, a lot of spamming of our tier of the goddess. It might be worth going hybrid, but I think we're just going to go flat AP and sort of see from there. Can we do a bit of counter jungling? We don't have our ultimate up, so we want to be cautious here. We can smite this, which would be nice. So Kha'Zix is right over yonder. I'm going to go ahead and push this in. Kha'Zix doesn't see us, or at least doesn't want to fight us. Jhin is bottom, doesn't seem like he's ever fought a Malzahar before. I think that is the second time that he has taken my E, and he actually fell for my ultimate as well. Kha'Zix is still fighting in mid lane, and he is a god. So, let's see, we're just kind of pushing in here. Seems like we're doing pretty well mid lane. Keeping Jhin occupied here is sort of half the battle. We don't really have a lot of damage at this point. At least not a lot to follow up on some of our abilities. Route of Ages, Leandries, Athenes, Sonias. I mean, that's, yeah, to Penguin's point, that's a pretty standard build. We're going to go for with an Archangel Staff here, plus boots and a sweeper, just to clear out some vision. Yeah, I don't really see how that's any different, per se, than a normal Teemo build. Route of Ages is probably the item that does not fit in there, and instead of Athenes, you'll probably want to get Morellos. But otherwise, I think it's pretty standard. The next item that we're going to build is probably something with armor. Most likely some iteration of Zizirot, I think, would make sense. Okay, we should actually be able to get inhib if we push it up. We have 5 people mid. Drag after. Yeah, going for dragon right now doesn't make sense when we can just push. There's only one tower in the way. Jhin. Almost hit Annie there. Not quite. Looks like Graves is taking that for us. Alright, Naru, see you in a bit. Could actually, with this minion wave, just keep pushing, but it looks as though they want to go for Dragon, which I think makes more sense. We can actually see if the blue is there, which it is. Looks like we are being chased. We have a 680 smite, which is the same smite as Kha'Zix, so if we lose the smite war, it's our fault. There we go, and we should just be backing out all as one. Top lane's pushing, bot lane's pushing. And we're just gonna go ahead and protect our tower. As you can see, our minions are absolutely decimating. The thing with a champion like Malzahar is that you can clear minion waves very, very quickly and very efficiently. Especially with our build going for the Runic Echo plus Archangels, we should never have mana issues. And especially if we even decide to go for Morellos, that would be interesting to see as well. So we're just going to kind of focus on pushing out these side waves. One of the reasons why ZZ might be a good item is because we have a really easy time pushing out these waves. So if we're able to sort of push out the waves as quickly as possible, and then pretty much immediately put down a portal and keep the waves pushing, I think that's probably in our best benefit. If that's the way that we want to play, we probably would want to go for Deathfire as opposed to the Strength of the Ages. Although I think there is something nice about having this extra HP overall. They're calling for Baron. I think Baron's fine. I think we'd probably just push in a tower instead, truthfully. But with all of them over there, we're pretty good. But yeah, Voidlings, with the ability to just kind of Voidlings on top of Voidlings on top of Voidlings, we're in pretty good hands overall. Smite, 720. We're just going to want to make sure that we get it. There we go. And it looks as though we want to group multiple people grouping top. Us grouping mid doesn't make much sense. But we're going to try to see if we can pick them off along the way, or maybe take a red buff. Seems to be the case. Hopefully our Malefic Vision does not take it. You know that Kha'Zix will probably come from the back. Make sure that Graves isn't overextending. And we're going to ult onto Annie just to protect our dudes in a little way. Unfortunately, we're not successful. She got to them before. If we can clear out Kha'Zix and at least group together, we should be good to go. Graves is just doing a ton of damage, 7-2-2. So overall, really good. Mid lane's pushing. We still have Baron buff with a couple of minions over here. So we're either a Zhonya's or a Zizirot portal. I think a Zizirot makes it easier for us to split push. Zhonya's gives us obviously a little bit more HP overall. So I'm gonna go for a Zizirot. Not that it actually matters. The game should be over. We're just gonna pick up a Zizirot for aesthetic's sake. The game should be over. Come in, guys. I'm at least gonna place this Zizirot. Uh-oh. Minions. 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 All the Voidlings, man. Zizirot Malzahar, 2 OP. All of a sudden, damage out the champions. Ezreal, extremely high. Actually, we are at the lowest